guys. Well, wanted to give everybody a few minutes to be able to hop on. So glad that you are all here today for our virtual spring premiere 2022 event. I'm excited to have some of our friends from the Hankamer School of Business with us today to talk about all of the wonderful opportunities that you could have if you choose to attend Baylor's Hankamer School of Business. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them. They've got lots of great information for you. If you have questions, please feel free to utilize the Q&A feature and we'll get those questions answered. And again, glad to have you here.
Good morning. I'm Krista Howell, and I'm the Assistant Dean here in the Hankamer School of Business. And we just want to welcome you to Premiere 2022. I have Amy Rhodes here with me as well. She is the Assistant Director for Recruitment here in the Business School, but also one of our academic advisors. She will be speaking with you for just a little bit as well. And then we have behind the scenes, we have several academic advisors and students that are going to be answering questions in the Q&A. So make sure that you're using the Q&A when you are putting in questions for the students and the advisors. Now, students, I will be one of your professors in the business school, one of your very first ones. I actually teach a Business 1101 class called Connecting to the Hankamer School of Business, because I want to make sure that you will be successful at Baylor and in the business school. So I would be one of the first people that would be helping you. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the mission statement here in the Hankamer School of Business. Students, you want to make sure that you are looking at a university and a business school that fits with your values. And here at Baylor, we feel like our shared values are so important that we have actually etched those into the Paul Foster campus here, which is our business school. If you have not visited here, it is absolutely beautiful. You can see this picture here on the right that gives you sort of a downward view of the atrium. You can see the columns over on the right that have our shared values on them. Students, this is really a home away from home for our business students. If I'm up here at night or on the weekends, we will have business students all over the studying and enjoying each other. And so we actually made this building for students. We have team rooms that are just for you because you're going to be doing group projects when you're in a business school, and we have those team rooms just for you to be able to do that. So it's absolutely beautiful. I hope that you can come visit the campus and see our building if you have not done so already. We also have wonderful faculty members. And so those are the faculty that are going to be helping you every single day or every week. I have faculty come into my office and say, and talk about students and how they are either concerned about a student or something's going really well. You will have that personal touch with them. Our class sizes are smaller as you're getting up into your major courses. And we have wonderful students here to learn from as well. Another thing I want to brag on are our academic advisors here in the business school. They will be your advisors starting from your freshman year all the way till the time that you graduate. And some of them are here on the call and answering your questions. But we have the absolute best advisors. So if there are parents on this call, I just want you to know that your students are going to be well taken care of if they come here to the Hankamer School of Business. Now I'm going to turn this over to Amy Rhodes, and she's going to talk with you a little bit more about our majors and our special programs.
Good morning. I want to echo what Dean Howell was sharing. We're so glad to have you here and have the opportunity to share a little bit about the BBA degree and what is available to you as a Baylor business student. One of the things as I talk to students from around the country about Baylor that I find to be quite unique when they're visiting around is that we have quite a few business majors for them to choose from. We have 13 different business majors and different tracks within the business school. And many of our students will take advantage of doing more than one of these with a traditional business plan. So this is really a very popular choice for students. They don't have to be in a particular honors program. Anyone can come to Baylor and do a pre-business major. And they can many times, in most cases, without a lot of over planning or over loading themselves, do more than one of these opportunities. So 13 different majors to choose from, in addition to some different tracks. We have 3 certificates that I'll tell you a little bit about. And these are opportunities for you to pick up skill sets from different departments in the business school. And as I mentioned, very common, about anywhere between 50 and 60% of our business students are typically double majoring in the business school, or they might choose to do a minor and focus on something with their business degree outside the business school. In addition, I mentioned anyone can be pre-business at Baylor, but we also have 2 special programs for students that are application-based, for students that do want to do things a little bit more quickly, and we'll tell you a little bit about those in a minute. But here's a list of all of the different majors that we offer you at Baylor. Now, I think what you'll find is you'll see some on here that you might see at any wonderful business school like ours, but there's going to be some that might be unique to you, that might be a little bit different or not offered everywhere around the country. I do want to encourage you to maybe join us for what we call our Meet Your Major sessions that we have once a week at 4 o'clock Central Time. And those are hosted virtually by some of our business students that are seniors, and they go through every single one of these majors, and they have a lot more time to kind of go in depth with you. And so I encourage you, because that's a great way to find out about every single major and even more about the BBA degree that we have at Baylor. So we'll include that link in the chat in the Q&A. These are, in addition to the majors that we offer, these are the 3 certificates that we have available. The business analytics, very, very popular. A lot of large data management is needing to be taught in a higher level education nowadays. And so we have a certificate for students that need to really amp up their skills in managing large data for business. We have a global business engagement certificate and another one for students that might want to go into the energy sector. So just a few of the many things that you will find. Now, I know we can't go into every major, but there are some programs that I receive questions about on a regular basis. And these are just a few of our standout premier programs. Our accounting program is well known and has been for many, many years. We've had the #1 CPA pass rates in Texas over the last few years in first attempt, something we're very proud of. And many of our students will stay and do their 5-year accounting program here at Baylor. Might be a little bit less with some of these programs I'll mention to you, but it allows them to graduate with a BBA and a master's degree in 5 years and in 1 graduation. And so this has been a very, very popular program at Baylor for a very long time, heavy recruitment cycle for those students as well. Our entrepreneurship program has long been ranked as one of the top programs in the country. I've been advising 12 years, and since I've been here, it's been in the top 10, maybe 6 or 5. I believe we're number 6 this year. We've been number 2, Princeton Review, and US News and World Report. And I think the reason for that is because it's been around over 40 years, there are many, many hands-on opportunities for students. You're true entrepreneurs or people that really want to use this skill set in a corporate setting to help look at innovative business practices in a corporate environment, or even people that are looking at using it in a social entrepreneurship way to help develop markets in underrepresented parts of our country or around the world. So the diversity in this major is wonderful in the way that students are able to use it in a variety of ways. It's a very popular second major at Baylor as well. As I mentioned, many people do double major. So it's something that's not difficult to add on to your degree plan, even if you have another area of interest. Another special program within our marketing department is a special track for our students that want to major in sports marketing. And it gives them the opportunity to really break into a very difficult industry, the sports industry, the NFL, MLB, NBA teams, pro hockey, Premier Soccer, PGA systems. And so these students do their marketing classes, some of their electives together, so they can focus specifically on this market. And they have a 98% placement rate in that kind of field. And they would tell you that 2% decided to do something else if they were here. So a wonderful way to break into an industry that has historically been very hard to break into. And then another standout program is our professional selling program. And this is a major and a program for students that really want to fine-tune their skills, not only in sales, but in management of corporate business-to-business accounts. And these students, their preparation, their professional development is so advanced that they are really entering into the workforce at a high level, usually skipping a few of those entry-level positions that you might normally have offered to you straight out of undergrad. And these students, you do have to apply to be in this major, and they travel around the country and compete in different national sales competitions, and usually are winning those on the regular basis. So another one to keep in mind if you really like the idea of developing relationships within a business setting. I mentioned earlier, we do have a couple of special programs that are application-based, and these are for students that really would like to either customize their degree plan in a more unique way. Maybe they're interested in things across the university, not just the business degree, or they would like to really move through some of their lower core classes at an accelerated pace to allow them to start their business majors a little bit sooner. So these two programs both require application. So there's really actually 3 ways for you to be a business student at Baylor. And if you'd like to know more about Hank-Emer Scholars or Baylor Business Fellows, I would encourage you to attend an 11 o'clock session that we'll be having. We'll be talking both about fellows and scholars, and you can go back to the landing page, and we'll put that back in the messaging for you. But if you go back to the landing page and look for the specialized business programs for high ability students, that's the name of the session, and you can talk with the faculty and staff a little bit more about these special programs.
I also want to tell you about the Business Learning Living Center.
Sorry.
Living Learning Center. Do you want to go back and do the study abroad stuff, Amy?
Sure. You can tell my mouse is a little bit sensitive today because the PowerPoint is just kind of doing its own thing. But yes, I do want to tell you a little bit about study abroad and missions as well. You know, if you come on a tour at Baylor, I believe they'll tell you there's hundreds of places around the world that you can study abroad. And we want you to have that opportunity to have a global experience. On this slide, we've just mentioned a few that some of our business students really enjoy. If you are interested in particular in studying how business works around the world, these are a few, just a sampling of some of the ones that are most popular. Our dean of the business school has really started a lot of new initiatives, and we would like every student that comes to Baylor to have some sort of global experience, even if it's virtually while they're here in Waco. And so beyond this, there will be many, many more opportunities if you're interested in study abroad and specifically business. And we want to encourage that for all of our students. But another thing that might be a little bit more unique to Baylor is we are a Christian institution. We are a faith-based institution, and Dean Howell mentioned our mission. And one of our missions is to raise up global business leaders of faith in the marketplace. And so if you are interested in really looking in ways to apply your faith in the marketplace and look for ways to give back after you graduate that aren't necessarily monetary, we have discipline-specific mission trips where you can go and use your business skills that you've learned here at Baylor in a way to give back around the world. And this is just a few examples of some of those opportunities, but we truly want you to develop in every way while you're at Baylor, and that includes your spiritual development. So if you're interested in having an opportunity like that, that might be something you wouldn't find everywhere, and we find it to be very, very meaningful and really important part of your career and your development as a person. Now we'll go to the Living Learning Center.
Students, you have an opportunity to live with other students that are pre-business students or who are entrepreneurially minded type of students. So they may not be coming into the business school, but they may be doing an entrepreneurship minor. They are actually we have enough students interested in this that they are going to take up all of Brooks Flats, which is a residence hall here. And so it's going to be one of your options when you come here. You could choose choose to live in the Living Learning Center and live with other business students so that you would be in class together with the same people that you are living with. And so that's another unique opportunity that you can have here. Now, I also want to tell you about our Career Center, because students, your parents will never be happier than when you have a job when you leave here, and that is very important to us. And so we have our own career management office located within the business school, as well as a centrally located Career Center. And we have an 89% placement rate, 90 days out for graduation. And as Amy said, many of our programs have 100% placement rate. We have internships for students of all majors. And we also teach a Business 1201 and a Business 3101 class, which are career management classes. They are a part of the degree. And so every student takes those. There's one their sophomore year and one their junior year to help them learn interviewing skills and how to get an internship and then how to eventually get job placement. So all of those are actually in a class, a 1-hour class during your sophomore year and your junior year. Our students are very well sought after by employers. I had an employer, here is just a few of the samples here, tell me that they could hire students from San Antonio and Houston and Dallas and Fort Worth, but they come to Waco because they love the Baylor students and they love the ethics that the Baylor students bring to the workplace. So this is just a sampling of some of the companies that come. You can see professional sports teams on here. Some of our accounting majors go to KPMG. Our management information systems majors go to Oracle. But my favorite is in the bottom left-hand corner, the Nestle company. So students, you are in for an opportunity of a lifetime. We actually have a student here with us, Emma, and so she is going to tell you a little bit about her experience here at Baylor.
Yes, well, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to get to be with you all today. My name's Emma Focarile, and I am a senior accounting major from here in Waco, Texas, and I'm actually in the BBA MBA program right now. It's the 5-year dual master's program, and I'm getting ready to apply to grad school. So that's very exciting, and hopefully I'll get to be in that next year. But I wanted to talk a little bit about why I chose Baylor. And like I said, I grew up around the community, so I got the pleasure of having that outsider's perspective and viewing the students and all the faculty as just someone who lived here in Waco. But as a student, one of the biggest reasons I chose Baylor is not just because of the business program, but also just because I was looking to grow when I was in college, and Baylor has offered me so many opportunities to do that, both professionally, personally, and spiritually. And I've just felt so fortunate and supported as a student here. I've gotten to experience that growth in many different ways. And I've had so many great opportunities and made so many great friends and gotten to know my faculty and my professors. And so I just have felt so lucky to get to be here. And I encourage all of you who are looking for something new and something exciting to consider Baylor, just because they do offer that foundation and that great path to just grow as a student. And you will come out so changed and so much better than when you entered. And just being a senior, I've gotten to reflect on that a little bit more recently. So I'm just so excited that some of you are considering coming here to Baylor, and I encourage you to gain more knowledge, ask more questions, and we are just so excited that you might become part of our family moving forward in the future.
Well, we just really hope we could give you a quick snapshot of a little bit you needed to know about Baylor business. And it is a quick run through. So again, I'll encourage you guys to maybe sign up for a Meet Your Major event or come to see us. Absolutely do a campus tour. We also have in-person information sessions that usually include a student, if not completely run by students, every day of the week, except for Wednesdays when we meet with you online. So I'm going to let Dean Howell, if there's any questions that have come up in the Q&A that maybe we need to respond to verbally, we'll do that for our last few minutes, and I'll hand it off to you, Krista.
Okay, so one of the questions is how likely are you to get in if you come here as a pre-business student? How likely are you to be admitted? I know that at other universities, it's not a definite. You're not definitely going to be admitted. But here at Baylor, if you meet the GPA requirement and the course requirements, then you will be admitted your junior year. And so that is, it's not we're taking a certain number, or you're going to have an interview before you can get in, that type of thing. But as long as you meet the requirements, the GPA requirements and the course requirements, then you will be admitted to the business school. And then business fellows and Hankemer scholars are actually admitted from the beginning, or start from the very beginning. But you can learn more about that in that specialized program that Amy talked about. They also, one parent, or maybe not a parent, a student, asked about, why should a prospective student come here over others? And I hope that you learned a little bit about that as we were talking. I would definitely say Amy and I are both we both were students here at Baylor. We both work here, obviously, but we also are both parents of Baylor Bears. And I think our students would say it's the Christian mission. It is the faculty that care about you. It's your academic advisor that's taking care of you, and that the other students that are also here. I just think you will have a close connection, more so than what they have found with their friends that are at other universities, from what they've told me. So that's from a student perspective, for my own children. They also asked about class sizes. A number of people did. There are going to be, their freshman year, there's going to be a couple of classes that are more speaker oriented. So those are going to be a little bit larger classes because of the speakers that are coming in. But here in the business school, we have class sizes of 24. The room only holds 24 students. So those are mostly when you get up into your major, you may have only 24 students in your class. If you are in a writing class, you're probably going to be a part of maybe 20 to 25. A math class would be somewhere around 40. And so it's going to vary in sizes, but you can see that those are still smaller than a lot of large universities. We also have office hours. Every faculty member in the business school is required to have the same number of office hours for students as they do hours that they teach in class. So that's unique. I mean, you have hours set aside that you can go by and visit with your faculty, either just to get to know them, or if you have any concerns about the course. And then somebody asked about, is it too rigorous of a program to be able to be involved in extracurricular activities? Absolutely not. All of our students are involved in many things across campus. It impresses me how many things that they can handle and also do the BBA program. But it also has to be within your God-given talents and abilities, okay? And that's one of the things that I tell the students in that first class that I teach their freshman year. Amy, is there anything else that you would want to add? Somebody did ask about internships.
I do want to add a little bit. We have more interview slots than interviewees each semester. And so the piece that Dean Howell mentioned about us really looking at that engagement piece, that's our biggest challenge career-wise. And so we want students to really have that career piece in front of them from the very beginning. And that's why we have 2101, 3101. So the internships are really an outcropping of all of that work they've done from that early on stage. And so that's something that I think is really special about Baylor. It keeps that career piece in front of them. And our recruiters love when they're involved outside the classroom, when they're learning how to be leaders, but also how to be led. That's something that they are really looking for. So we do encourage that, not just class time, but really looking for those opportunities to be a part. And I see Walker joining.
I was going to say, I think we're at the end of our time. I hope you've learned a lot.
Yes, hate to cut us short. You guys have so many wonderful questions, but thank you to Krista and Amy and Emma for going through this information. And for those of you that have been fielding the questions in the Q&A, thank you very much. Prospective students and parents and families, we appreciate you being here to learn more. You'll see, as they've listed here, lots of different ways to continue to connect with us. So we encourage you to do so. We're going to go ahead and end our session, so you'll have a minute or two to figure out what you want to do next. But again, thank you very much for being here, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Welcome.